friends. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope you're well. I'm doing okay. It's my Monday. I don't love those. Don't love those. Never feel like the weekend is long enough. Especially since I did not accomplish everything I wanted to. I did get a corner of my yard blackberry-ified, and I will post before and after pictures here. I am so excited to have that corner free. I mean, it's going to require constant maintenance, but just accomplishing that is like really huge. I love seeing visible progress. Yeah, so I'm excited to tackle the next portion of it next weekend. Well, actually, what I started doing this week, and it worked out really well, or this past week, is doing 10 to 30 minutes after work, like right after work before I change out of my work clothes even. Just going out there and nipping for a little bit. And not overdoing it, just getting a few minutes in, and I made a visible difference like each time, and that was really encouraging. So that's good. What I did not accomplish was mowing the yard. I meant to get out before it got hot yesterday and do it, but I didn't manage it. I went out there, pulled the lawnmower out of the shed, put the battery in it, and then decided I wanted to do that nipping, that blackberry nipping. And oh yeah, I put a little video, an ASMR video that I will mark as public today. No talking, no music, just me clipping blackberries if you're into that sort of thing. But when I finished that, I was super hot already, sweating, and I just knew that there was no way that I was going to mow the lawn and then be feeling okay. Like, it was too hot. And so I just took the battery back out of the lawnmower, and it was hot, so I think it was probably even too hot to use. Oh yeah, and while I was recording me nipping the blackberries, my phone overheated and stopped recording after like 11 minutes. So yeah, it was too hot. And then the other thing I wanted to accomplish was changing out the fill valve on my toilet. And I did force myself to attempt it. Like, I didn't want to at all. I took a big long break between doing blackberry removal and attempting it, but I finally talked myself into it, and then I could not get the plastic nut that attaches the water to the toilet tank to budge. Like, I got it to turn a half turn, and then I couldn't get it to go forward or back from there. I tried pliers, but they kept slipping, and I was worried about like damaging the nut because it's stupid plastic, and my hands were really hurting just from the pressure of like trying to turn it. And then one of my tendons kind of like popped, not in a terrible way, but definitely not in a way I wanted to repeat either. My hands are kind of delicate because my first job that I did for a couple years was making smoothies. So a lot of like frozen yogurt and sorbet scooping, frozen fruit scooping, which is difficult because it's all frozen together, and scraping the freezer. Like, my hands were messed up after that job. And then I was a hairstylist for 12 years later. So yeah, when my hands start screaming, I listen to them. So I think I'm gonna have to hire a plumber. And I did find, so there's a company that I keep seeing their vans around, and for some reason my intuition just like immediately liked them, and I almost had them clear my septic drain when that backed up a couple months ago, but they didn't have anyone available soon, and I ended up having my regular septic company do it. But the one thing I really like about this plumbing company is that they post their general prices online, like what you can expect to pay. And for like general plumbing fixes, it's $150 to $550. So I love that I know up front, like it could be as little as $150, which is my hope. But it's definitely not going to be more than $550, which is a lot. And I really can't imagine this, especially since it should be something I am able to do myself. I can't imagine it being $550. But I'm gonna call them today and do a little exploration. I was really disappointed that I couldn't do it, and I realized that I've discovered another one of my apparently important to me, but I was sort of unaware of, identities, is the capable woman who can overcome any challenge with creativity and ingenuity. And maybe if I wasn't so tired, maybe I could have come up with other ideas to get that nut off. But I don't know. I was so frustrated, but after sleeping on it, I don't mind so much that I can't do it. I'll just call the plumber today and get something scheduled. Let it go, let it go, let it go. In other news, that's not awesome. Well, maybe it is awesome. It's not awesome up front. I definitely have to flip it. But my inner critic has even more brutal. Like, I read a bunch of them to you yesterday or the day before, I don't remember. But its new one is when other creators say, we need your voice. You need to create and put your stuff out there because we need to hear your point of view. They're not talking to you. That's what my inner voice is saying. They didn't mean you, honey. So, like, I understand that this inner critic is supposed to be, like, protecting us and keeping us safe, but isn't it messed up that it is choosing to try to keep me safe by being just as mean as other people could be? Like, you're trying to protect me from people saying this kind of crap to me, but you're saying it? Like, what the hell? It seems like, and then I'm like wondering, like, is this why it's so easy to fall into abusive relationships? Because we're so used to it already from our own brain. It's absurd. It's absurd. I think evolution messed up with this one. I mean, maybe it keeps me physically safe, but I don't know. To a point, right? Like, if I'm too upset, then that's not good either for my well-being. I was watching a career coach Mandy video last night that made me feel so much better about this whole process. And I mean, like, logically, I know that it takes a long time, and I know that the people that get monetized early are outliers. And I knew going into it that I wasn't going to be doing any editing and being all shiny, and that it would take longer for me anyway, because I'm not doing all that stuff to build a viewership. But you know, my inner critic still likes to do its thing. But career coach Mandy was talking about her Substack and how she posted weekly to that thing for 9 months with a subscriber count of 10, I think, and each article got like 5 views. And she put like a ton of effort into these things, but she kept showing up and she kept doing it. And then right after she submitted the manuscript for her book, she was exhausted. She didn't really have any bandwidth to put into an article, so she just did a really quick one. And then she was also still like really exhausted for her TikTok content, so she decided to base her TikTok content off of that that quickly written article for Substack, and then, like, you know, told her viewers on TikTok to that the article was on Substack. And so a bunch of her TikTok viewers went over there, and she got like 1,000 subscribers in a week after 9 months. But then her persistence in doing those articles every week really paid off, because like she kept getting comments about how people were so excited because they had all this backlog of articles to read now. So I've talked about how creation is an act of faith before, and it really is. I mean, that shows her faith in herself, sticking with it for 9 months, and just showing up because she knew her work was awesome. She knew eventually someone would appreciate it, and she knew that it was worth doing, even when she wasn't getting the evidence. And I keep thinking about how people keep saying that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And first of all, I don't think that is the definition of insanity. I'm gonna get my band on my hair, on my braid here, and I'm gonna look up the definition of insanity, because I don't think that's correct, first of all. And even if it is correct, artists and writers and creators, we have to be insane then, because we have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result until we get the different result. And it will happen if you persist. If you give up, you're not going to get the different result. Although strangely, I have recently gotten a few new followers to my Instagram channel, even though I haven't posted there in a year and a half, I think, or interacted with anyone on it in that long, which is just bizarre, especially since people say that like social media posts are temporary, like they just like get lost in the void after a few days. So, and like one of my subscribers that I got recently found me from a reel, so my reels are out there doing their thing. So weird. All right, let's see here. Let's look up definition of insanity. Okay. Severe mental illness or derangement, not used in psychiatric diagnosis. Unsoundness of mind sufficient to render a person unfit to maintain a contractual or other legal relationship or sufficient to warrant commitment to a mental health facility. Incapacity to form the criminal intent necessary for legal responsibility, as when a mental disorder prevents a person from knowing the difference between right and wrong. None of those are about doing the same thing over and over again. Okay. Oh, there's a quote origin page. This is from a website called quoteinvestigator.com, which I think I'm going to bookmark this. Cool. I think more quotes are probably in need of some investigation. No substantive evidence that Einstein wrote or spoke the statement that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Looks like the earliest strong match known appeared in October 1981 within a Knoxville, Tennessee newspaper article describing a meeting of Al-Anon, an organization designed to help the families of alcoholics. And then the second strongest match appeared in a pamphlet printed by the Narcotics Anonymous organization. So it looks like November 1981. But yeah, it's incorrect. That is not the definition of insanity. And sometimes you have to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Also, I think any practice is also that, like art, drawing the same thing over and over again, you are going to get different results. I mean, you're just going to get mildly different results because you're human and you're not a machine every time you do it, but you're going to improve every time you do it. And with the algorithm and everything, like, you just don't know. You just don't know what is going to get popular here. Like, I mean, I think, but what I do know, actually, what I do know is that if you don't show up, definitely not going to take off. If you don't put the content out there, no one's going to see it. So even if it takes 9 months, even if it takes several years, if you keep putting it out there, eventually the right people are going to find it. And then they're going to be so thrilled with the backlog of content you created, and they're going to binge watch it. And that's going to help you even more. All right. So that is what I've gotten from my my inner critic trying to get me to stop. I still think it's a mean cheerleader. I still think that it really struggling to get me to stop means that I am going in the right direction. It means that I'm growing. It means that I'm getting out of my comfort zone, clearly, because my inner critic really wants to stuff me back into my comfort zone. So yeah, onward. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be wealthy, may you feel at ease. I love you so much. Until next time. Bye-bye.